Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to take you through the process of me making a custom foal and mare. Although the mare is gonna be in another separate video because this video without editing it is like 70 minutes long, so I don't think I'll be able to squeeze it in. And here I also have Andromeda with me. You could probably hear her purring. Yeah, she's a loud purr. This custom took me way longer than I wanted it to take, or that I thought it would take, because I made so many mistakes and stuff like that, but you'll see. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So these horses, I bought them off eBay. I don't really remember why. They weren't that expensive though. Yeah. So I started off with like really watered down paint. Yeah. And this paint I didn't water down as much as it's shown in here. This paint was actually just a water-based paint, so I probably didn't have to, water it down like at all. I don't know. It took me a while to get this first coat down, because it was so watery and like they kept on like clumping together and stuff like that. Yeah. And as you saw before and now, Andromeda did like to visit me. I think she was trying to learn how to paint, because she kept on coming up on the table literally so many times. And sometimes she knocked over the horse. It was a little bit of a struggle having her there. And this paint was not good at all. The water-based paint. That was the only white paint I had at the time. Thought it would work. No. It kept on like scraping off the underlayer of paint that I already had set down. Was not fun at all. And after a little bit of time, I gave up and then finally went to the store and got some more paint. Yeah. And then as I started placing down the paint, it started like bubbling underneath. I was like, what's up with that? And then I would go over it with my paintbrush and it would take off the paint, like underlayer that I already had set down, the water-based paint or whatever. And so I went to the sink and started like washing it off. And with that, the paint that was originally on it started coming off too. So as you can see here in this clip, I was taking it off. I used hot water and was just like scraping it off of my nails. Oh, hi. Yeah, I was just scraping it off of my nails, rubbing it. Can you stop ripping my wallpaper? Sorry. She keeps on ripping off my wallpaper because my wallpaper is already broken. She keeps on taking it off. Yeah, I kept on like scraping it off. It took a really long time though. It's probably there for like an hour and a half. And not all the paint did come off, but I did try my hardest. Because the fur detail was like really like furred. I don't know how to say that, but it was like really detailed, and I couldn't get in like the crevices of the fur. The crevices. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But I couldn't get that, so there was like still paint stuck underneath it. I had a little bit of a problem with that though, because I didn't like want like the paint to be like sticking up and make like bubbles underneath the paint. Oh, that did happen a little bit. Wasn't really a big problem though, because it was only a little bit. But yeah. And then after like an hour of scraping it off, I finally got most of it off, not all of it though. And then I finally put down my first layer of good paint. The other paint I was using like took me like 10,000 layers. No, probably like just like 10 or like 11, 10, 12, around there. And this one only took me like 6, 7 coats. Because this is actually like really good paint. Well, I will learn in the future. Do not use that other paint ever again. Yeah, because it was awful. And I think that this was actually like the only coat I recorded me painting. Because it's just like hard, like recording while I'm painting something and like trying not to get my hand in the way. Yeah, and Andromeda kept on popping up because she's super curious. And I did have a few problems while I was painting the layers, because Andromeda, like, I would walk away to like let the like layer dry, the coat dry, but Andromeda just kept on wanting to be there, and she ended up dumping the water a few times. It's annoying a little bit, but I mean, she's a curious kitty, and that's just what cats do, knock things over. And then after I put down all the coats and let them dry, I sprayed it with my Liquitex matte varnish. I gave it 2 coats, not too much. I didn't spray it too much either because I did not want it to be shiny, because last time I sprayed my one of my customs a lot, it was very shiny and it was sticky. I still have it. It's still like very sticky and like it's like kind of like ruined. Yeah. And I let my Liquitex dry for about an hour, just to make sure it's completely dry before I added any of the pastel layers. And then here is the first mistake I made. I was originally going to add another layer of paint, but this time make it a light beigey kind of color. But I totally forgot, and then I already had added the Liquitex varnish, and I just, I was like, you know what? Oh well, it's gonna have to be like that. But it was very, very grainy, the first layer, because of the fur details and stuff like that. It couldn't get in the crevices. Yeah. And then one of my other problems was that I didn't have any gloves or anything like that. And so I just had to hold on to the tail, try not to touch the model anywhere, until I sprayed it and let it dry. Yeah. But I only sprayed it once in between each layer. I wasn't even sure I got like everywhere sprayed, but oh well. You can't really see it that much on camera, but in person it looked very grainy. And then some spots would be like really darker than the other spots. I don't know why that happened. But yeah, this is like my second custom with pastels. So I still have a lot to learn. Why are you crying, Andromeda? I don't know. She's like crying, looking out the window. She's like a dog. She likes looking out the window a lot. I also used a makeup brush. Yeah, you see here, you can like really see the graininess like a lot. Yeah. I don't know why, but I feel like on camera it looks like I'm like being like really rough to the horse. Maybe because it's like speeded up a little bit. It looks like I'm going rough. And then I did the rest of the coat off camera, then sprayed it, let it dry, and that's how it turned out. As you can probably tell, it's like really greeny. And then for the next coat, I just darkened it a little bit, made it a little bit more red too. I did this off camera though, because it was going to be easier for me. And that layer is finished, sprayed it, and as you could tell, there are like some like really darker areas, and it's like not cute. And as you could tell, it's like really grainy too. Not really a big fan of it. Yeah. I honestly didn't really think it was gonna turn out good here. I was like, should I just give up? And I just kept going though, because like maybe it'll turn out better. And then I did the next coat on camera. Trust me, it looks way more redder in camera than in person. In person, it's more brown. Trust me. But yeah, I would say that this coat probably was, I think, the best out of all the coats. It was honestly my personal favorite coat. Probably because it like covered up like a lot of the graininess like really good. But just like all the other coats, there were some darker spots. But I don't know how to prevent that from happening, because this is like kind of like hard to do. And this is like one of my first times too. So I still have a lot to learn. And it like looks like I'm like being like really rough on the horse, but trust me, I'm not being rough on the horse. I just like really speeded it up because this process is slow. And again, it looks a lot redder through the camera, but it's more brown in person. Maybe it's the flash, because I had the flash on because like it was like the room is dark a little bit. Yeah. And then when I was spraying this coat, it was raining outside. But thank goodness we have like a roof over our porch, so it didn't get wet or anything. And it's not like I was gonna be out there long. And it actually wasn't that cold outside either, which was great. And then once that dried, time for more pastels. And this layer, I think like covered it up like really good too, like the layer before, because once it dried, you could kind of see the graininess still. But this layer, I like this layer too, because it like really gave me hope that it wasn't gonna turn out to be a disaster. Yeah. Also, my hand is gonna be like in like the like view for a while too in this one, so just bear with me because I wasn't paying attention to the camera, just the horse, so I'm sorry guys. And then it like really covered up like a lot of the graininess, like really good. So not gonna lie, I was like really proud of myself here. Yeah, 'cause I think I like did really good compared to the other side. And I also added probably a lot of Liquitex to the other side, so it was kind of shiny. I don't think it was sticky though, but it was shiny. I don't really like shininess, but oh well. It was gonna be covered anyways, at least most of it. And then I accidentally bumped into the table and it knocked over the model and it like scratched it, and it was still wet too. But it was like only a few little spots. Honestly, thought I could cover it up with another layer. And then disaster struck. Because it looked so bad in person. Like, it was so grainy and so sad. And then I just gave up there. I was like, there's no point on trying anymore. Because it just looks so bad. Yeah. And so I sprayed it with my Liquitex and then painted it white and started over again. So just bear with me, guys, but this video is gonna be even longer. And here is a clip of me repainting it. This time I didn't do a fully pure white. I mixed some paints and made it like an off-white kind of color. I mixed it with like a little bit like orange-ish red with some brown and white, a lot of white, to get this light beige color. This custom took me so long. Like, I started doing it, I believe, January. And then I like stopped for a little bit to get like a better white, and then I continued it during like this February vacation that I had, and yeah, just took me a very long time. And then here is after all those coats. When the paint was still wet, I put some white on its legs to make that like ombre effect, because I wanted it to have lighter legs while the body was like darker a little bit. You know what I mean? And then here is a clip of me doing the second coat of the Liquitex matte varnish. I didn't record the first coat mainly because I forgot. And if I recorded the first coat, I was gonna record the second coat, because just one video is enough, because this video is already long as it is. And now it's finally pastel time. I mixed white with a like orangey yellow kind of color, with some brown, to get that like tannish look that I wanted. And when I tell you that it went on smoother than the last coat, oh, it went on like way better than the last coat. I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually gonna work. It's actually like gonna go on so much nicer. And it did. It was so beautiful, so good. I think one of my problems before probably was that I was just like brushing it on like if it was paint. I don't think that's what you gotta do, because here I'm just like dabbing it on, not like putting too much pressure. It might look a little bit too rough because it's in like fast motion or whatever, but I promise you I'm not doing it that rough. And when I saw like the dust of pastel like clumped together and like a little spot, I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. And then I brush it away, and then it's just dust. Me thinking that it's like graininess. Thank goodness it's not though. And then I would like be like, oh no, because like sometimes the pastel fell on the like the white part of the leg that I didn't want to be a dark color, but it just flew away easily. Wasn't that hard. And maybe a problem also was that I didn't have a glove, but I don't really think that's one of the problems, because I didn't touch the model once with my fingers or like my hands or anything, so I don't know. And then this, I believe, is after 2 layers. I could be wrong. It could be the first layer that I just showed you, but I don't know. It looks a little bit too dark to be the first layer. But again, I could be totally wrong. And then this was 1 layer after the one I showed you. I think it looks really, really good. And then my cat got curious and stepped in my pastels. She turned into a rainbow kitty. Yep. And then disaster struck again. I made the layers way too dark and it got really grainy. The layer I showed you before probably would have been the best layer to end at. So I once again did it all over again because I did not like how it looked and I was not gonna leave it like that. So here you just see me painting another tan layer of paint on the horse. This horse has gone through so much pain already. I am so sorry, horsey. Hopefully I do better on the mom. So yeah. And also here I was looking through more pictures of Foal sets or Foal duos. Because I just gave up on doing the Bay Foal and the Black Mother. And instead I found this. I'll pop it up on the screen. And I really liked it because there's like a Schleich mare that came in a advent calendar that I didn't get because I had no idea Schleich existed. I'm very disappointed in myself, and it was like limited edition, so you know, didn't end up getting it. So I'm gonna try my best to just make that a little bit similar to the Schleich, but yet still like be doing the what's it called, the Foal duo picture. So yes. And then after I finished putting down all the layers, it's finished. I did add a little bit of pinking to its muzzle and ear tips and stuff like that. I don't really know why. And I made the feet a little lighter too. I also made the coat lighter because the color of overall is going to be light. So yeah. In the days that I painted this third coat, like this third repaint, my kitten Andromeda had fallen ill. We aren't too sure why she is currently still ill. We were gonna take her to the vet today because she had been throwing up, but she stopped today. Like, she didn't throw up at all today, because usually after she ate she would throw up, but thank goodness she didn't throw up so far today. We're praying for her. Hopefully it's nothing big, and it's just a little illness that she had got, like how us people get fevers. So yeah. Anyways, back to the video. I had lost my makeup brush that I had been using for the past layers, so I used a paintbrush. I don't have any like fluffy paintbrushes. This was the best I could find. It was a little pointy at the tip, so I just gave it a little haircut. But yeah. And a few layers later, it's not looking too bad at all. Me and my cousin were doing a little contest. It's not really a contest, but we're just painting LPS. We're doing the same thing though. Like we're drawing our pets. I'm doing Cupcake, and so is she, and Andromeda, and Diamond. And I actually went to Dollar Tree and got a few new brushes, so I don't have to keep on using a paintbrush that's not that good. Although the paintbrush did get me pretty far, because the coats before were pretty good. And with this third try, I was trying not to, with this darker color, I was trying not to go over the belly too much, because foals don't really have dark bellies like adult horses do. The foals have like pretty light bellies, so I was trying to maintain the lightness while still adding some to the whole model. Yeah. And this is the last layer that I recorded me doing on camera. I tried not to record too much of the layers because the video was way too long already, as I keep on saying. So yeah. At this part here, I did step away from the camera a few times because my sister had been doing a little guessing game with us, saying if we think her friends are mask fishers or not. And that in the background that you just saw, that's my cousin Nevaeh. She just found some of my money that I had no idea I still had, because it was in a pencil box that I had totally forgotten about. So yeah. And then here I just shaded some spots a little bit, like I made the legs a little darker, her forehead, her ears, and a little bit around her ear. And I also darkened up her eye area. And as you can see here, I did spray her, I think, a little bit too much by accident, because she is a little bit shiny. But I guess it's okay, because she wasn't that sticky. And then here I just used some reference pictures so I could get down her blaze how I wanted it to be. Of course, I'm not perfect at it. It didn't turn out like how it was in the picture, but I think it's good, in my opinion. I didn't record too much of me doing the blades and stuff like that, mainly because it was already hard enough for me to do it, because it was a bit of a struggle to have the horse in front of the camera while me doing it, because I really just needed to focus and hold it so I could you guys know what I mean. And here I tried doing the eyes on camera, and as you can see, I had done the hair and tail already, the mane and tail. Yeah, me doing the eyes is just really out of frame, because it was tricky for me to do it in camera without me getting my hand in the way and stuff like that, and for you guys to be able to see it. Sorry about that. The eyes were very tricky for me to do. I did use a skinnier brush or a finer brush, but since I had done a whole bunch of layers of paint on it with all those other mistakes that I had done, I think it just didn't really show as much detail from the eye as it did before. The eye on one side is actually pretty good in my opinion. The other eye is a little wonky. But I'm not great when it comes to doing eyes on horses. Yeah. And then in this clip, I just show myself spraying the horse, because you gotta spray it after everything, to seal in the color and stuff like that. Yeah, I did 2 layers of my varnish, and then it was all set. So here are the results of the foal after 30 minutes. Thank you guys for staying this long, staying through the whole video. I hope you guys have a great day. I did mess up on the feet though, because as you can see, one has a white sock on, and I was going to put that one the light brown color, but I moved to the back foot, the foot behind the foot that has the marking, and I didn't even notice until I finished. So yeah, but it's okay. It's still cute either way, and many are not gonna notice it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great week. And if I won't be posting for another while, mainly because I'll be working on this one's mother in another video, so stay tuned for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Well, see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Ooh, my voice cracked. Let me try that again. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.